All right, let's dive right into this explainer and map out the incredible biological timeline of exactly what happens to your kidneys when you completely cut out sugar for 30 days. We're going to break this down day by day, week by week, to show you the miraculous biological repair journey your body is actually capable of.
But, before we look at the repair, we really need to understand the scale of the damage. Take a look at this number, 9,000. A massive clinical study published in the Journal of the American Society of Nephrology looked at over 9,000 people and discovered something absolutely terrifying. They found that folks who drank just 2 or more sugary drinks a day had a significantly higher risk of developing a severe kidney condition.
Now, the harsh reality here is what that sugar is actually doing inside of you. That condition they found is called albuminuria. It's essentially the medical term for leaking protein right into your urine. Basically, the high levels of sugar in your blood are literally punching microscopic holes in your kidney's delicate filters.
So if that's the damage, how do we fix it? Well, here is our roadmap for today's explainer. First, the initial sugar withdrawal. Second, the deep healing phase. Third, the day 30 transformation. And fourth, the kidney repair protocol.
Let's start right off with phase 1, the initial sugar withdrawal, which really is the ordeal of days 1 to 3. Look, I'll be totally honest with you. The first 72 hours, they're not going to be comfortable, but they are absolutely necessary. You see, when you stop eating sugar, your insulin levels plummet. And hey, that's a great thing. But insulin has this little side job. It tells your kidneys to hold on to sodium and water. So the moment your insulin drops, your kidneys get the signal to just open the floodgates. You're going to pee a lot, and you might even lose up to 8 pounds of water weight in that first week alone. But don't get too excited. This isn't fat. This is toxic inflammation fluid that your body was hoarding just to dilute the sugar in your blood. Because your brain is addicted to that quick energy and your kidneys are rapidly dumping electrolytes, you're going to feel some brain fog, fatigue, maybe a headache. It's the reality of the keto flu. But underneath that temporary struggle, the dangerous pressure in your kidneys is finally dropping. Next up, let's see how this builds as we enter the deep healing phase, happening from days 7 to 21.
By the end of the first week, something magical starts happening. The glomerulus, which is the tiny filtering unit inside your kidney, starts to finally relax. As this quote perfectly captures, sugar is highly inflammatory. It's literally like rust on a car. High sugar makes your arteries rigid, kind of like old stiff pipes. But when you remove the sugar, you stop adding rust. The puffiness under your eyes vanishes. Your swollen ankles start to shrink down. And absolutely crucially, the endothelial layer, that inner lining of your blood vessels, starts to produce nitric oxide again. This relaxes the vessels, your blood pressure normalizes, and your kidneys can finally breathe again.
Then, right around day 14, a massive metabolic shift happens. Here's a secret that most doctors completely miss. Your kidneys actually prefer ketones over sugar. Think of it this way. Running your body on sugar is a lot like fueling it with dirty diesel. But when you quit sugar, your body starts running on fat, producing ketones. Switching your kidneys to ketone fuel is like upgrading to clean electric power. The oxidative stress on your organs just completely plummets.
And with all that clean energy, an incredible biological process kicks in. It's called autophagy. This is basically your body's most powerful anti-aging and self-cleaning mechanism. The body identifies the damaged proteins in your kidney, the ones gummed up like cement from all that sugar, and it says, okay, this is trash, let's recycle it. It begins to break down advanced glycation end products. It clears out the microscopic scar tissue. This right here, this is where true cellular regeneration takes over. By week 3, we hit nerve repair. You're probably going to notice you aren't waking up in the middle of the night to pee anymore. Why is that? Well, high sugar actually destroys the nerves controlling your bladder, a condition known as autonomic neuropathy. But without the constant sugar, your autonomic nervous system heals. The signal between your brain and your bladder becomes crystal clear again. And because you're actually sleeping through the night, your sleep quality skyrockets, which dramatically lowers your stress hormone, cortisol. It creates this beautiful, positive feedback loop of deep healing. Which brings us to our next major milestone, the day 30 transformation. 30 days in, you are quite literally a different person on a cellular level. Your glomerular filtration rate, which is the absolute gold standard measure of how well your kidneys filter, will likely have improved. And crucially, you've actively stopped the formation of kidney stones. There's this massive mainstream myth out there that calcium is the main culprit for kidney stones. Actually, scratch that. It's not just a myth, it's entirely backwards. Stones are driven by high insulin and a lack of citrate, which makes your urine highly acidic. Under those acidic conditions, stones form rapidly, kind of like crystals in a science experiment. But when you quit sugar, your urine pH normalizes. You stop forming new stones, and you might even start dissolving the grit that was already in there.
All right, moving into Phase 4, the kidney repair protocol.
Because, let's be real, you can't just quit sugar and survive on cardboard. You have to actively feed and support this intensive detox process. So the crucial point is implementing these exact steps. Step 1, your kidneys run on a sodium-potassium pump, and most people are highly deficient. You need 4,700 milligrams of potassium daily. Bananas are packed with sugar, so instead you need 7 to 10 cups of leafy greens like spinach or arugula to flood your body with potassium and push that excess salt out. Step 2, drink lemon water and apple cider vinegar first thing in the morning. Lemons are loaded with that citrate we just talked about, which flushes the liver and kidneys to prevent stones. And step 3, practice 1 meal a day, or at least fast for 16 to 20 hours. Every single time you eat, you trigger an insulin spike. If you eat 6 times a day, you're hammering your delicate filters 6 times a day. Give your kidneys a break so they can focus on cleaning rather than filtering new garbage.
Hold on a second, though. Before you rush off to start this, I have to pause our momentum to ask a very serious and, frankly, very unexpected question. Is drinking plain water actually dangerous during this initial withdrawal?
The standard advice always says, drink more water, right? Well, that is totally wrong in this specific situation. During that first week when the floodgates open and you're dropping all that inflammation fluid, you are losing massive amounts of electrolytes. If you drink plain, unmineralized water, you dangerously dilute your blood even further. This leads to a severe condition called hyponatremia. You're going to feel incredibly weak, you'll get muscle cramps, and you might even experience heart palpitations. It is absolutely mandatory that you add Himalayan pink salt and proper electrolytes to your water to safely support this massive flush. Please do not drink plain, dry water.
We also really need to debunk a mainstream half-truth about protein. The establishment constantly tells you that protein destroys your kidneys. The actual truth? Commercial, grain-fed, highly processed protein is incredibly hard on your kidneys. However, moderate amounts of high-quality, grass-fed protein alongside healthy fats and vegetables are absolutely necessary. Your body requires those raw materials and amino acids for the cellular repair of your filters.
So let's just quickly review the incredible 30-day chronological adventure we've mapped out today. Day 1, you battle the keto flu as the toxic fluid floodgates open. Day 7, the glomerulus relaxes as the rust and inflammation drop. Day 14, autophagy kicks in and you switch to clean electric ketone fuel. 21, your autonomic nerves fully reconnect, restoring your bladder and your deep sleep. And finally, day 30, your glomerulus filtration rate totally transforms.
Your kidneys are remarkably resilient, and they're incredibly forgiving if you just give them this 30-day window. Keep this powerful metaphor in mind. The body is a self-cleaning oven. It already has all the advanced, natural mechanisms built right in to clear out the rust, dissolve the stones, and regenerate the cellular damage.
But it can only activate that self-cleaning cycle if you actually let it. Every single soda you drink is a fresh layer of rust on your filter. Every gram of sugar is a tiny, violent scratch on the inside of your blood vessels. So I'm going to leave you with this final challenge. Are you ready to stop throwing plastic into the oven to melt on the bottom? Give your body 30 days without sugar. The fog will lift, the swelling will vanish, and you'll unlock your ultimate repair journey.